So, what if I told you there's a secret superpower? One that can turn these tiny, almost invisible actions into, well, massive, life-changing results. Today, we're going to unpack that power. We're diving into the magic of compounding, and we'll do it with an amazing story from the book Becoming a Superhero Thinker.
Okay, to really get this, let's start with a simple picture. Just imagine you're standing on top of this giant snow-covered mountain, and right there in your hands, you've packed a tiny little snowball. It's almost nothing, right? It barely weighs a thing.
So you decide to give it a little push, just a gentle nudge to get it going. And at first, nothing really happens. It kind of just creeps along super slowly, picking up maybe a few flakes of snow here and there. Honestly, it's not very exciting at all.
But as that little ball keeps rolling, it picks up more snow. And then it gets a little faster, and it gathers even more mass. And this is the crazy part. By the time it finally hits the bottom of that mountain, that tiny little snowball you started with has turned into a giant, unstoppable boulder of snow that could smash through just about anything. That amazing transformation, that's the magic trick we're talking about today. It's called compounding. It's simply the process where these tiny, consistent efforts, just like that snowball picking up more and more flakes, grow. And I mean really grow into massive results. And it works for everything, not just snow. It works like money, with knowledge, even with your friendships.
Now, to see how this plays out in the real world, let's look at a story. We're going to meet two twins, Mia and Max. They are practically identical in every single way, except for one tiny little choice they each make. And that one choice is going to change everything.
Okay, so here's the deal. They're both 12 years old. They both get the exact same allowance. But Mia, she decides she's going to save $5 every week and read just 10 pages of a book every night. Max, on the other hand, he spends all his cash on V-Bucks or Robux and just scrolls through videos instead. See, same starting line, same potential, just one tiny little difference in their habits.
So, what do you think happens when these two completely different habits get 10 years to do their thing, to compound? Well, let's hit the fast forward button and see how these tiny choices create two totally different destinies. The snowballs are starting to roll. We're going to watch this whole thing play out. We'll check in at 3 key moments. After the first year, then again at year 5, and finally, we'll see the almost unbelievable results after a whole decade has gone by. Okay, so after just 1 year, Mia's already saved over $260, and she's read what amounts to about 10 thick books. Max? He's got $0 saved. But here's the most important part. If you looked at them, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They're still just twins living their lives. That gap between them, it's totally invisible. For now.
All right, let's jump ahead. We're now 5 years in, and this is where that compounding magic really starts to kick in. That tiny, invisible gap we talked about, well, it's starting to widen into a canyon you can actually see. Check this out. At the 5-year mark, Mia's savings have ballooned to around $1,500. And get this, $200 of that is just free money from interest. Her knowledge has compounded too. She's read over 18,000 pages, and she's used what she learned to build a little Minecraft server that's actually earning her extra money every month. Max, still at 0.
Okay, here we go. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. 10 full years have passed. The twins are now 22 years old. Those tiny little snowballs they started pushing a decade ago have finally reached the bottom of the mountain, and the result is absolutely shocking.
First, let's look at Mia's savings account. From just $5 a week, it now has over $3,400 in it. And nearly $800 of that is pure interest. Money her money made all by itself, just because she was consistent.
But you know what? The money isn't even the craziest part. All those pages she read night after night, they compounded into some serious expertise. She started a YouTube channel to share what she knew, and by age 22, she has over 800,000 subscribers. She literally turned her tiny reading habit into a full-blown career. And Max? Well, he's got $0 saved. He never built a skill or a base of knowledge that could grow on its own. So he looks over at his twin sister, at everything she's built, and he asks the one question anybody would, how did you do that? And Mia's answer just perfectly sums this whole thing up. She just says, I just pushed a tiny snowball and let it roll. See, she understood that the real power wasn't in some huge heroic effort. It was in that small, consistent push, day after day after day.
So what Mia figured out, it's like a real-life cheat code. And you have to understand this. This power, this magic, it's not just about getting rich. It applies to literally every single part of your life. You know, the legendary investor Warren Buffett put it perfectly. He said, the best investment you can make is in yourself. Money is just one kind of snowball you can roll. The really powerful ones, they're the investments we make in our own minds, our skills, and our character. Just think about it. This superpower is everywhere. With knowledge, every new thing you learn connects to the old stuff, making you smarter, faster. With skills, that consistent practice builds on itself until you have mastery. And with trust, every single time you're reliable, you build a reputation that opens doors for you down the road. So the big question is, how do you actually start using this? Let's get super practical. I've got a 30-day challenge for you, and it's designed to help you start rolling your own snowballs starting right now. The challenge itself is really simple. For the next 30 days, just pick one tiny habit from each of these 4 areas. First, a money snowball. Save just $1 a day. Second, a knowledge snowball. Read 10 pages. Third, a skill snowball. Practice anything for 15 minutes. And fourth, a trust snowball. Do one small helpful thing for someone else. That's it. So easy. Now, you might be thinking, what can 30 days really do? Well, after just 1 month, you'll have real results you can point to. You'll have over $30 saved, 300 pages of new ideas in your head, and more than 10 hours of practice under your belt. Your snowball will officially be rolling. And this, right here, is the most important thing to remember. The person you're going to be in 10 years, that person is being decided by the tiny snowballs you choose to start pushing today. If you start now, I promise, you'll look back at this very moment as the day you started becoming unstoppable. So, there's really only one question left to ask. Now that you've seen its power, what tiny snowball are you going to start rolling today?